There are people in the realm of finance that do not want you to know what I'm about to talk to you about. We're going to talk about derivatives. We're going to talk about how they play into blockchain, how blockchain stops that. But the problem is, financial institutions have a way of sneaking in and slowly building laws, using lawmakers through lobbyists and money to create laws that keep you away from being able to own an underlying asset and them being able to manage it for you and steal your money. So we're going to talk about a derivative and I'm going to explain it. It's funny when I watch YouTubers try and pretend like they know everything and they've got it like sort of their eyes are off in the corner and they're looking at something. I'm just going to read it from the cell phone. In finance, a derivative is a financial contract whose value is derived from the performance of an underlying asset, index, or rate. This underlying asset could be a stock, bond, commodity, currency, interest rate, or even a market index. So what that means is that, let's say you own an ounce of gold. If the gold market is going up or down based off people are buying and selling, that gold, solid gold piece is worth whatever they're stating or whatever the market will bear. I mean, you could try and go down the street and sell it, or you can try and sell it on the internet. However, most trades are never settled in any physical means, so they are a derivative. This is why we had a financial collapse in 2008. And a lot of people have started investing in cryptocurrency and blockchain because it's real. It's got a ledger. It does. But most people don't own real crypto. They don't own real Bitcoin because they do not. Why's my car talking to me? They do not actually own the actual private keys to that asset, so they do not store it themselves. And they do the lazy thing and they allow Coinbase, Uphold, Binance, whatever exchange there is around the world to keep their stuff on it. Now, I keep a lot of my crypto on exchanges because I trade cryptos, and then I have long-term storage. It's set up in cold wallets and vaulted away for a long time. But the thing is that most people don't understand that these financial institutions have weaponized finance in a way for you to not be able to custody your own funds. They turn around and they charge you exorbitant fees. Most people, and I went to open up a new trading account because I need a brokerage that could handle a DWAC for taking private shares. And once they go public, to be able to go from one transfer agent to my account. And they were all super excited when they found out the size of the account, because they always ask you, right? So, do you guys remember when you go to a bank, they always ask you, how much are you planning on depositing? How much balance do you plan on maintaining? So they go through all this stuff, and I've got to be honest with them to a point, because if a large deposit comes in, I get, flagged for being a terrorist or something like that. Type 1 if you guys know what I'm talking about. It's just as simple. It blew me away. Years ago, I would explain how you can't go get cash out of the bank. And, I would explain where I'm pulling out $10,000 and the bank would tell me, sorry, you're going to have to order the cash. We don't carry that much cash anymore. They're trying to go away from cash because they want to track everything you do. Once again, that gives them the ability to put their hands in the jar of money. Now, a lot of people have turned to blockchain, but they still don't know how to use blockchain. And what I'm finding is that you don't have a lot of time left to figure this out, because what's happening behind the scenes, and I am privy to a lot of great information because of the people I get to hang out with, and my work in blockchain for the last, 8 years. What they're doing is they're writing laws to slowly make it to where you can't custody your own crypto. But what they're going to do is they're not going to go, if you're already custodying it, take it from you. That would cause a revolution. Probably not, actually. In the last 10 years of my life, looking at world politics, geopolitics, and especially politics in our country, I don't think there's enough people with heart anymore to cause a revolution. And that's just sad, because good times have made weak men. So what they'll do is whoever's already been smart enough with blockchain and made their millions and they've got it custodied, okay, you're good. What they're going to do is going forward, they're going to allow you to only open accounts where they manage it. Let me give you an example. And this is going to piss a lot of people off, but it's just the truth. How many of you have just recently noticed that the White House, there's legislation and out that, or an executive order that you're allowed to put Bitcoin in your 401k? Type 1 if you have seen that. So this is a prime example. It's an exciting thing because if, people are putting Bitcoin in their 401ks, that means there are going to be fewer Bitcoins for people like me that go and buy them and put them on an actual device, right? Into cold storage. And I actually own and control the private keys. But here's the thing. These banks push in eventually with a ton of derivatives, and there's ultimately a crash. That's why we had a crash in mortgage derivatives based on mortgage-backed securities back in 2006, 2007. Now, most trades, and I know this because, let's see, on Coinbase, I'm now, what do they call it me, a 4 diamond or whatever, because of the amount of trading I do. They pull you up in tiers, right? They charge you different amounts and all that kind of stuff. And I've had institutional accounts on Gemini, and I don't even blanking out where the other one was. I know I had 2 on Gemini and 1 somewhere else. And most of these exchanges actually run in derivatives. They're not real crypto, and they don't settle in real crypto in the first handful of seconds. And then they'll back up and figure it out. And this is why a lot of people have said, I'm trying to withdraw right now and I can't withdraw. I've had that happen as well. There are some exchanges that run probably 80% of their trades are off of derivatives. Matter of fact, just up until recently, Robinhood was mostly derivatives. And they've gamified it, and they don't allow you to take your money off in the time that you want. Or I'll give you an example. Way back when, Coinbase would turn around, I would put my money in and I would buy, let's say, Bitcoin, and I would immediately want to pull it off, put it on my Trezor, and they said, oh, you got to wait like, I don't remember how many hours. It's because they didn't have it. They didn't have the settlement feature that was moving fast enough to be able to give you the real crypto. And people just deal with this. And I think it's sad because you think that we're light speed ahead, but we're really not. And what's sad, and there's a verse in the Bible somewhere, it's like, with much knowledge comes much sorrow. And the reason why is because when you see behind the veil, and I'll give the example of the Wizard of Oz, they're all excited to go see the wizard. They're also all afraid. But when all of a sudden they found out that it was just a little man, behind the curtain, the emotions of Dorothy, the lion, the Tin Man, and the Scarecrow all of a sudden changed. And it's a different analogy because with a lot of knowledge comes much sorrow. That wasn't what they experienced. They actually ended up having more confidence. They went from fear to confidence. But it is impressive when all of a sudden a veil is removed from your eyes or your mind. All of a sudden your emotion goes from wherever it was to completely polar opposite. And that's what's happening right now in finance with these, like the bill where everyone can buy Bitcoin with 401k. That's great for me. But what happens is that's now getting controlled by the money changers and the government. The government set up a series of rules based off of, they tax you and they go, oh, if you want us to tax you less, just put your money over here. And then all of our buddies can make money by managing your money. It's really a brilliant thing, but it's a brilliant plan for thieves. And it's sad to me. So I just wanted to throw this out to you. Like I taught that course. It's still not finished. It's about to be finished, and the sale is going to be ending, I think, in a day or two. That crypto staking pro course. I taught it because I want people that are intelligent to be able to learn something new and put a skill to work before the banks take it over. Because there's going to be legislation that comes out saying, you know what, you don't have the ability to do it yourself and make all this money. Why don't you let us manage it? We'll take a lion's share of the profits and we'll leave you with a pittance, just like your CDs at your bank or savings account. And that's what's really holding a lot of people back. But the truth is, it's not the money changers that are doing this, the central planners of the governments. It's you. Type 10 if you agree with that. All of this comes down to you. Did you buy .com stocks before they were a thing? Did you buy houses? I didn't get into .com stocks till 1998, so I was late to the game. But I was also, only like 3 or 4 years out of high school. But did you buy homes in 2000, 2001, 2002 when they were tanking? Not in 2002, but 2000, 2001, they're actually going down because of the .com issues, right? Did you take advantage in the beginning of any of these things? More than likely you didn't, right? Probably 99% of you didn't, and 1% of you did. However, let me ask you this. Type 10 if you took advantage of any of those things. Type 11 if you did not. And the reason I'm asking that is because I'm going to ask you now this question. And this is a way more important question. Type 12 if you are understanding that you wish you would have taken advantage. You would have taken action, but now you are. And that's the most important part, because before days like now where we saw the whole world get forced to shut down, people get, you got to be careful with what you say nowadays because they want to stop everything. They don't want true knowledge, free knowledge out there because they're working on laws to control. And the only way that you can fight back is, quite frankly, become wealthy. Because do you realize that it's the wealthy people in this world that make the rules? Type yes or no if you understand that or agree with it. It's wealthy people that make the rules. So all I want to do is see every single person that has a good heart become wealthy. Then we can go help people. We can write the laws. It's that old analogy, good times make weak men. Hard times make strong men. You know how it goes. And we're in that cycle that we're about to crash and burn because the movie Idiocracy is coming true every day. And what even scares me even more is because of the last election, a lot of people have just given up and they're happy, fat, dumb, and happy. And they're just gonna, okay, everything's good. And they have that normalcy bias. I'm like, nope. That pendulum's gonna swing back around. So I hope you do something about it. I hope you got something out of this. Perhaps you won't. We'll read the comments later and find out. The Economic Ninja is out.